That's just what I get excited about. Welcome. We're talking tariffs and below market deals today. I am so ready. Listen, I miss being live. I got my man Dolan moderating in the background. If you got some time to spend with us, start typing your questions. No question will be unanswered. We're going to try to just get through as many as we possibly can. But I want y'all to know that the ball is always in your court if you don't let dealers convince you that it's not. It is all about, and look, here's the thing. We got people out here that's teaching you guys how to negotiate. I'm never going to do that because you are not going to, we got simple principles that we set up. Good to see you, Sunshine, on YouTube. Good to see everybody checking in. If you have not already, I'd love for you to hit that like button. It does boost the algorithm and it sends more people here so that everybody can get this car shopping wisdom. Because all I care about is results. Check this out. I don't care about anything else but seeing you pull up in your car and you're getting deals like Marie sent me. She got $13,000 off MSRP. Look at this. This was just on just recent. Just got her car. This is, person getting a Genesis GV80 2025, getting almost $8,500 off the price of the car. That's all I care about. I'm not interested in none of this stuff. I'm not interested in followers. I appreciate you guys. The numbers don't matter to me. If I had 8 million followers, but none of you were out there sending me emails and sending me stuff and saying, yo, Deshone, I just got this car. It's $36,000, $439 a month, no down payment. Then that wouldn't matter to me. So I'm very results oriented. So you can hold me to that as long as you hold yourself to taking action on what we're going to talk about. So tariffs is a big deal. What do? First thing is we realize that from the get-go, 80% of dealers are not going to have a car you want or they're going to overcharge you. Lock that into your head. How do I know? Well, in case you don't know me, my name is Deshone. I'm publicly known as Deshone the Auto Advisor. I spent 15 years in the car business. And since 2020, we've been building education that you guys have been using to save thousands of dollars. Google it, type me in, you'll see this. Thank God we got probably the most results of anybody. And there's people out here doing lives and they're trying to teach y'all to negotiate. Let me tell you why you never want to do that. You don't want to ever walk into a dealer and think you're going to negotiate, and you never want to even listen to someone who's going to negotiate one-to-one with the dealer. And I'm going to tell you why. New car, used car, lease. Because the facts show, we're very fortunate. We got about 8,000 books sold, people using them all around the country. My new digital book, Cars from Home. Link in my bio. If you want 75% off, it's normally $97, but you can get it for $24 for 30 minutes. Once that 30 minutes is up, it's $97. Now we got 2,000 students, 2,100 students around the country since 2021 shopping every market. They report to me. I get to see this stuff. And since November, we've been shopping for people all around the country with our Cars from Home Done For You program. So this is why when you see anybody who's teaching you negotiation, you could just click off the video. And I'm going to show you why. The numbers that we know is 80% of dealers. Hey, Donna, good to see you. Stella, thank you for the gifts on TikTok. Thank you to everybody who shares stars, gifts, all of that. Supports the mission. Appreciate you. I don't take it for granted. So we get to, when people are trying to tell you how to negotiate, they're doing it as if every dealer has the same price. And if every dealer had the same price, then negotiating would be a good way to go. Because now you're going with everyone and all of their prices are the same, and you're just going to the closest dealer and trying to talk them down. But the opposite is true. Every dealer's price is different. And I want y'all to remember this. I want y'all to type 80 into the chat. Type 80 into the chat. Everybody who's locked in, listen, everybody who is locked in on today, what is today? April 8th, who you're not scared. I don't want you to be scared. I want you to get informed. And if you are informed, there's nothing this car market can do to you. Whether it's the pandemic microchips, we were winning in the pandemic. Whether it's they're saying tariffs coming, we're going to win when tariffs come. Because you must create a bid. You must make the market bid. I see you, Stan Kemp, on Facebook. I see you, Hey Mickey, on YouTube. I see you, Stella. You must create a bid, because 10 Nissan dealers on a block or 10 Nissan dealers in a state, 8 of them are overpriced. 8 of them are not going to have a car you want, or they're going to overcharge you for it. Those are the facts. And let me show you. This is something we call a market report. Now, we put this together for our clients we shop for. This is what I teach you to do. So you don't have to worry about needing us to shop for you, none of that. I just need you to learn how to use a computer to create a bidding system for your car loans, for your new cars, for your used cars. If your car shopping doesn't look like multiple people saying, hey, buy from me, Daphne, buy from me, Stella, buy from me, John. If that doesn't look like that, you're shopping like it's 2001. And that's when you see these people, you see them on live and they're like, hey, let me show you this. Zoom in on this right here. Now you can see this is a deal from Genesis of Edmond. Now, they won the bid this time for a client. They're taking off, and if you see, I just shared in TikTok. I hate that they don't let us do this with y'all. But if you pop on the YouTube, or if you hop on the Instagram, or you hop onto Facebook, you'll be able to see. We can't. TikTok, for some reason, they just like to do their own thing. Tiscar, thanks for the question. Wait, no, you're talking about ticker symbols. We're talking cars. We're talking cars. Hold on. Just everybody type your questions in. I thought you was typing a question. But here's what's important. Genesis of Edmond, y'all notice I shared something a little second ago, and this is Genesis of Edmond right here. This is the same vehicle. And we had an offer of $873 a month. They won the bid at $870, but we counter offered them in $84.90. They were taking off almost $8,500 at $873. And then they came all the way down to $840 is their best deal. That's a 1.3% lease. For those of you who know what we teach about the 1% rule with leases up to the 1.5% rule, 1.3, he's saving almost $10,000 off a brand new Genesis GV80. But look at the other offers. There's plenty of dealers that are not taking any money off and that are charging over sticker. Look at this one. Look at Genesis of South Point Hyundai. They're $1,066 a month. Same cars a little more. Look at this dealer. 1066 from Genesis of Denton. So there are people, when you see these people who are just randomly picking up the phone to call a dealer and say, now Genesis of Denton is obviously greedy. Look at number 10. I think that's number 10 or 11. Genesis of Northwest San Antonio, 1102. We don't have the MSRP out of that car. Look at the one at the top, Genesis of Spring, 973. People in these dealers. People are in those dealers. So now we can look and see, and I want y'all, listen, one day TikTok is going to get with it and we're going to be able to stream this stuff on there too. But just listen to me. We got this person who's a bidding system to prove to you that 80% of dealers are never going to give you a below market deal. So when anyone picks up the phone or walks into one of these dealers, where are you going talking to Genesis of Denton? What do you think you are going to accomplish? Let's pull that back up. Genesis of Denton is probably 15 to 20. Nah, actually, quite honestly, Genesis of Denton, look at Genesis of Denton at 1066. They are probably $20,000 almost, $17,000 to $20,000 higher than what we settled at with Genesis of Edmond. who won the bid in this case. They just need to. So where do you think, what good is it to negotiate with them? You think you're talking them down 15, 20 grand? We already came back. We already went back and forth with them. So I want y'all to understand that the moral of this story is, if you are negotiating with what we call an 80% dealer, no matter what they take off, we lose. If that makes sense, type $signs. If it doesn't, I'm going to go deeper with that. Because until y'all, I see you, Dorian Jackson. Hey, Mickey, good to see you. Until you get the 80%, I'm not going to name it the 80% rule. Y'all know I'm very big on rules, right? Who's familiar with the 8-year rule? Who's familiar with the 8-year rule or the 1.5% rule? Type ones in the chat if you're familiar. You know I love rules, because unfortunately in car buying we don't have rules. So when it comes to tariffs, what's the first thing we need to understand? Well, we need to understand that before or after tariffs, I must have people bid. Type bid in the chat. I know, I would say if I'm buying something, that's probably my favorite word. Y'all know my 2 favorite words. Anybody know my 2 favorite words? We got anybody been on here with us for 3 years, 4 years? Y'all know when it starts with an M. M-O. Anybody know my 2 favorite words? You got a free copy of my digital book, Cars from Home. These are mindsets that I need y'all to add to your shopping so that you're knocking 10,000 off, so that you're getting ridiculous deals from home, so that you're empowered. You're leaving dealers knowing you got a deal, not just hoping. All right, I'm going to give you my 2 favorite words. And it really means the same thing as the first word I just said, bid. Multiple offers. Multiple offers. Type MO if you get that. You understand? MO. Multiple offers. Multiple offers. Multiple offers. That's how we save the money. We didn't save 10 grand off that Genesis going in negotiating. You sit at home. Thank you, Stella. Shout out to the locked in. Dorian Jackson, locked in. Let me go on Instagram. Hold on, Instagram. I'm coming. Because I can't see, hold on, I'm coming. Okay, TR Plex, I see you. Sorry, I had to get my people on Instagram. So this is why home is where your deal is, okay? We cannot go. The name of our company is Cars from Home for a reason. It's a mindset. Everyone continues to lose. It might sound like I feel like I have the only way, like we invented the only way to car shop. But until you guys are bidding, Trill, good to see you. I ain't seen you in a while on TikTok. Until you guys have turned the market into a bid, you are 2001. You're using strategies from 2001. When I see these guys that claim to be car gurus and they're on the phone, hey, watch me talk this dealer down. What year is it? So you clearly either are trying to dupe the people or you don't understand the business. Because if you are some car guru, then you know that every dealer has a different price. So what are you really trying to prove here? What are you trying to prove? The fact that I know if I call the dealer that has a $15,000 artificial markup, I could get 5 grand off on the phone. I could probably get 7 grand off on the phone. Because I'm talking to an 80% dealer. They have all the room in the world to move and still make money. So that's mindset. Now let's shift into these tariffs. Okay? There's a lot of concern. We have 25% tariffs being put on all import vehicles that are on the way. So vehicle that was 40,000, it's 50,000. It's coming to the port. As soon as it hits the port, it's 25% tariff, $10,000 tariff. Dealership's not going to give that to you. I mean, the dealership's not going to take it on the chin. Dealership's going to pass it on to the consumer. How do we know? We know them. 20%. Besides the 20%, they all should be out of business. They're criminals. They're criminals. If I could snap my finger and put 80% of the dealers out of business, it would bless the world and leave the 20% who really care about people. But we can't do that. So we know that the dealers are going to pass on the cost to us. We know the manufacturers are going to pass on the cost to us. So now what we need to do is decide a couple things, because there's going to be some benefits here. There's going to be some benefits. Who has a car right now that is an import car? Your value's about to go up. Why? Because the new market has appreciated. I know we don't really hear that word in car buying, appreciation. Shout out to everybody. Could y'all just keep tapping the screen on TikTok? You don't have to keep tapping. I don't want your finger going numb. Just every couple seconds. Thank you, Jennifer. Welcome to the crew. I see the new follow. Thank you. Daryl Walker. If we have an import car right now, and let's say we're sitting on like an older 3-4-year-old, 5-year-old car that is about to be tariff new. Because the new car market is about to get more expensive, what happens to our used car? Anybody? Let's get the good news out of the way first. Let's get I'm not the doom and gloom. Because if you're in our community, I promise you're going to win if you're using what we teach. What happens to our new car? Go ahead, Stella. Locked in. Shout out to the people that's locked in. Let's see if anybody else gets it. Because we can see Stella done came in on TikTok and she got a top gifter badge. I don't even know what that means really, but I appreciate it. Thank you, Andre. Going up. It's going up. I said something back before the pandemic when they were trying to get the public to pay $10,000, $15,000 over what the value was for these cars. And I told them, I have videos that I don't even reshare them because I don't want to be I told you so. But I try to just guide people based on future trends that I see coming. I said the only way we can justify charging people $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 above what a car price is, and they're not going to lose in the long term, is the new car prices need to stay high forever. If those prices come back down, those values are going to come back down. And what did we see? We saw people a year ago in the last year upside down like crazy when the market dropped, right? We saw people $20,000 upside down, $25,000 buried in cars that they got during the pandemic, right? Right or right? So I didn't see the new car prices raising, but now we have a situation where the new car prices are actually raising, not just artificially, but in real life, which means the whole market appreciates because demand is going to shift now because people are going to be like, wait, I'm not buying that new car, paying 10 grand more for it, 15 grand more for it. Let me go look for a pre-owned one. Not really a good strategy because you should be leasing. But if you're buying, then that could be a good strategy. Let me go get a pre-owned. If I was looking to buy something, and this is where your value is about to go up. This is where some of you whose leases are due in the next year, 2 years are about to be making. Use what we teach. You're going to be making 3, 4, 5, 7, 10 grand again selling your leases like we were back in the pandemic because that demand's coming to the used cars. People are going to be like, yo, I could afford 40, 50,000 for a new car. I can't afford 50 to 60. Let me go get a pre-owned. And now the pre-owned cars that used to be 30, they're going to be probably 35. It's 5 grand artificial value, appreciation, if you know how to get it. And if you are embracing what we teach, which is everything is a bid, then you're going to win. You cannot. In 2025, when we see corporate greed is at an all-time high, unregulated, unmitigated, unchecked corporate greed, all-time high. You can't walk into a dealer and think they're going to counsel you on how to make 5, 7 grand selling your old lease and get a ridiculous below market deal. That's what we do. That's what we do. So that's the good news. We're going to see the appreciation of our pre-owned cars. If you got a car, I wouldn't sell it necessarily right now. If you look now, if you say, Deshone, well, should I buy a car before the tariffs hit? Good question. If I'm looking at a car that's going to be tariffed, then I'm looking to get that car now. Because the dealers that have cars on the lots that have not come through the port yet won't have the tariffs yet. But who knows what they're going to say if you try to walk in and just, hey, is this car affected by the tariffs? All this stuff I'm saying is why we don't walk into dealerships. If y'all don't know me, I spent 15 years in dealerships, 5 Mercedes, 5 General Motors, 4 years I ran my own brokerage. And for the last 4 years, we've been teaching you cars from home, which is why that's the name of our company. Go ahead, Nabel. When tariffs are in place, does it turn into a seller's market? Getting more for selling cars? Yes. Now, actually, let me roll that back. Not necessarily a seller's market, because a seller's market is dictated by a lack of supply and high demand. If we just go from economics, what the tariffs create is simply a higher price for the same exact item. It's not necessarily, hey Nadine, good to see you on Facebook. It's not necessarily that that's what it is. A seller's market is specifically created by high demand, low supply, which is why the dealers will try 80%. The 80% will make you think it's a seller's market. They'll make you think it's no demand, it's no supply. You walk into one dealer, they'll tell who's walked into a dealer and they say, we don't have the car you're looking for. Pretty normal, right? Pretty normal. Has anybody had that happen? You walk into one dealer, they say, hey, we don't have that car. You go into another dealer, they say, oh, we don't have it either, but we can get it for you. Who's had that happen? Who's had that happen? Come on and listen. Y'all know the people that win here lock in. We're only here for 60 to 90 minutes. You're not going to win with videos. You're going to win taking action. You're going to win taking action. This is high-level finance stuff. We're talking 10, 15, 20 grand of your money, hard-earned money. Anytime you go to 2 dealers and neither one of them have the car, now you're starting to think, oh, shoot, this car is pretty hard to get. Meanwhile, let me show you something. Fire Marshal Bill, who remembers the living cousin. Let me show you something. When you look at a car like this, we were shopping for a Volvo. So we're shopping for a Volvo. Again, we create a bidding system. We teach you to do this. This is our Done For You program where we do this for you, but we teach you to do this. It's all in the Cars From Home toolkit. Dolan will post the link for you guys in the comments, and it's in my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio. And you can get everything here. You can get access to me with Shop with Deshone and my video checklist. You can get my book for 75% off for 30 minutes. Or if you qualify for Done For You, you can have us do it. Either way, it depends on the type of person you are. Do it yourself. Do it do it for me. Do it with me. We do it all. But watch this. What we're looking at here, TikTok, is a spreadsheet of Volvo dealers. It's 25 of them because we teach you how to contact 25 dealers if you're shopping for a new car or a lease, all online, all by email. And then it's going to expose who has a car, because 80% of dealers are either not going to have a car you want or they're going to overcharge you for it. So now when we look and we see, all right, the 2 dealers I went to didn't have the car, but there's a couple of them that do. And now out of the couple of them that do, we have $60,000 to $61,000 cars. And look at our offers. Look at the monthly payment column, y'all. Monthly payments go from $770. Oh no, that's not even the lowest. $746. Same exact car. Very important. I've been trying to teach y'all this for years. If you don't see a spread in your offers, then you haven't shopped right. Hey Sherry, thanks for joining. Eric Glass on TikTok, checking in. When you look at this, 746 is the lowest, but look at the highest, 950. $950. This is why most people are losing. It's not that you are not smart. It's you're negotiating with 80% dealers. If you're negotiating with this dealer that's at $950 or this one that's at $893, you're not going to get anywhere near where we're landing, which is this best deal from Volvo Cars Manasquan. In this case, they won the bid with a 1.17 lease for $708 a month is where we landed. $708. Completely done by email. We never saw these people. $708 on a $60,700 car. Meanwhile, the top offer is $950 a month. Is it starting to click that we can't walk into dealers because there's a high chance we're going to walk into an 80% dealer? So when he hits us at $950 and we talk him down to, all right, I got him down to $850. Was that a win? Seeing what you just saw and seeing that we, from $950 to our best offer, we ended up landing at $704 or something like that. If you talk that someone is in that 80% dealer now at the 9 or the 8,900 a month, they're talking them down, thinking they're winning. All right, honey, I got them take off $5,000, $100 a month they drop. Oh yeah, that's good. They don't know the market. You overpaid by over $100 still per month, 3, 4, 5, 6 grand. But you thought you won. So if y'all y'all see how I went back to the 80%, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I know that these people make lots of money scaring the heck out of y'all. Like, and the amount of money they're making on y'all, if it was 1,000 or 2,000, then I might not even be doing what I'm doing. I got other things that I like to do. I really do. I got other things that I'm doing. But the fact that they're financially slaughtering the public to the tune of $5,000 to $15,000, we just saw it. Those dealers, I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna show y'all one thing. I want to stress the importance. I want to beat this horse until it's dead, so y'all understand why we absolutely. My computer mouse just went. That was your life. All right, my computer mouse just froze on me. I'm gonna show you something Toyota's doing. Who's in the market potentially for a Toyota? I want you to just raise your hand. Raise your hand on the chat. We're live on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. People checking in on all platforms. Eric Spindle on TikTok, I see you. Instagram a little quiet today, but I see y'all. We got 6 people on Instagram right now. That's locked in 6 right there. Faithful 6. We'll take those 6. Shout out to everybody else. Who? Let me know. Let me know y'all thought. Okay. Let's see what else. Anybody else? Okay, MO. Okay, sorry, I'm just reading these. Okay. Matter of fact, I did a little rant. So what I'm gonna do is answer a couple of these questions, and then I'll show y'all what Toyota is doing. No, let me show y'all real quick because I gotta upload it. I ain't even gonna. Toyota, for the first time, let dealers build their markup into the window sticker price. And I wanna show you. I don't even know if I have it. I'm gonna find it. It's a win. I was looking at it last night and I said, God, I wanted to make a video about it. And I said, no, I'm not gonna make a video yet. Normally what we see is a addendum. You'll see an addendum where, you know, that little, you'll look at the Toyota, you'll look at a car and you'll see a little handwritten sheet sometimes, and it says dealer adjustment, $5 grand, $3 grand, $2 grand, whatever. It's a little small addendum. Some of you've seen it, right? Different now. Now Toyota is letting the dealer order the car with the markup, which they're calling it a dealer adjustment. And the car's coming into the country with the markup built into the window sticker. And what's crazy is it's dealer specific. So some dealers don't have it and some dealers will have it. The 80% of dealers will make you think it's built into the price. This is never seen it before in my life. That means Toyota, when the dealers order their inventory. Hey, De Niro, Nicholas, we'll get to that. I see you looking for Suburban. And we got some questions coming in on TikTok and Facebook and everything. Let me finish this up over the next 60 seconds, and then we'll just get into questions. And anything y'all want to know about tariffs and below market deals, just ask. But that is showing us that the trend is not for the public. Anytime a manufacturer like Toyota would allow the public to be financially abused by a dealer who says, all right, order this car and then build a $5,000 markup into it. Build a $3,000 markup into the window sticker price, into the total. It's printed on the screen, dealer. It's printed on that Maroni label that you're going to take when you get your new car. $5,000 dealer adjustment. Meanwhile, you look at another dealer, the 20% no dealer adjustment on the window sticker. So what they're going to try to make you do, and Toyota's the first person I'm seeing doing this. Others might follow suit. And if you guys see it, let me know. Oh, Nissan's doing it, Deshone. Oh, Volvo's doing it, Deshone. Because what that makes, see, when that little addendum, when you see that little addendum next to the window sticker, you realize you just made that up. You just made that up. But when you see it built into this, when you see it built into this is a Maroni label, aka a window sticker. It's for an Infinity truck that I got back in November. $54,000 truck. I got it for $499 a month, $1,280 out of pocket. This is what we teach. You get my new digital book, 75% off. It's $25 in my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio, YouTube comments or the Facebook comments. Go to Cars from Home Toolkit. Everything is 75% off for 30 minutes. Get your copy for $24. Empowered car buying. Anyway, you'll learn how to do all of this stuff. Very easy from home. But when we see dealer adjustment built in, look, we see the total price. The dealer adjustment is going to be up here. Like if y'all following that. Like if y'all hit the like button if you understand how criminal that is. It's different. What we're used to seeing is this. Window sticker, addendum next to it. Here's your fake fees. Everything on here, we just wanted to pad the price. Everything. I don't care what it is. You name it. I can't even say the words. They're so phony. Low jack, it used to be. Simonized, whatever. You name it. Whatever it is on here, your goal was to pad the price and make more profit. We're used to that though. So Toyota is conspiring with dealers because dealers said, they're getting a little too used to the addendum. They don't want to pay these. They don't want to pay these fake fees. They can hear Deshone the Auto Advisor saying we don't negotiate with dealers with fake fees. That's all. That post done went viral a couple times. We don't negotiate with dealers with fake fees. So now somehow this gets across to the manufacturers that, hey, they don't really like these little fake addendums that we put in. Any way we could build it right into the price of the car, it's still fake. And Toyota said, yeah, we'll let you do that. So if we understand that they're against us, cool. I like to know. You're not my friend. You're not my friend, Mr. Car Salesman. All good. Now we can move soberly. And the way we move soberly is you're going to earn my business. Every single time, my bank's going to earn my business by winning a bid. You, Mr. Dealer, are going to win my business by winning a bid. I owe you nothing. Toyota, I owe you nothing. I like Toyotas. Always drove them, come back in, get another one over and over again. Now it's time for you to stop saying, I'm just going to go get another Toyota. If Toyota is going to abuse us financially and conspire with dealers to make us pay more, then I'm going to look at some other options. It's time to boycott people who are going to do stuff like this in the name of making more profit when we know there's economic hardship. You don't need to charge $5,000 over sticker to make profit. On every car, they're making 6% plus holdback. So whatever the car is, you got at least 5-6% plus holdback from invoice. So there's two, and then we're gonna go into some questions. Just let me get my stuff off, because I feel like the people who've been rocking with me, and even some of the new people, if you're brand new here, type the number 1, welcome. And if you've been here with us, please type welcome to the people who are here for the first time. So if you're brand new here, type the number 1. Let us know. Good to see you. And if you've been here before, you've been rocking with us 1 or 2 times, or maybe for years, you're a day 1 person, then just type welcome to the people who are here for the first time. And you can let them know how we get down here. But this is, good to see you, M Disco. This is where we prove that they're conspiring against us. And we're going to boycott these people if they're not going to do right by us. I'm not going to go get a Toyota and you're conspiring with dealers to charge me more and build it into the window sticker. So it's lots of cars out here, y'all. It's lots of cars out here. And that's just the Toyota RAV4 hybrid I saw. If you all see it on any other car, just let me know so that we can stay posted and we can make people aware. All right? So everything that you need is in the Cars From Home Toolkit. We got my free cheat sheets in there. If you guys just like, hey, I don't know if I want to reach into my pocket and pay your company for help, get your book or anything like that, right, start with our free cheat sheets. Test us out. You know, once you see the integrity of what we teach and the fact that we are results oriented, I'm sure if I can't get on here and show you deals from people like you, hated car buying just like you. Look, Stormy, email me. Successful lease. Just wanted to let you know that your package worked. She's probably in Shop with Deshone if she said your package. She said, but it's this. What's in the book is in Shop with Deshone. It's just Shop with Deshone as a video checklist. We got a private Facebook. We got coaching with me twice a month. But if you're a do-it-yourself person, the book will get you there. We got tons of people that write me every week. This guy, he's from the book. Right here, $439 a month. You know, sign and drive. $36,000 lease. So the information is the same. It's just your learning style and what you prefer, what you think is going to get you there quicker. But check this out. If I don't even know where I was going with that. So y'all know Cars From Home Toolkit. Link in the YouTube comments, in the Facebook comments, in my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio. Everything you need is in there. My book is 75% off. It's a digital download. You can have it in your inbox in 30 seconds. Just make sure you type your email right, and then you capture my support team's email after you pay. Link my support team's email, because then if you, for some reason, you don't get the book, just email my team and they'll get it to you. Sometimes people type their email in wrong. All right, so now let's get to these questions. All right, Jen the 5, thank you. Shout out to De Niro Nicholas, the day 1 people, welcoming the new people. Pacharada. Oh, I'm sorry, I just tore your name up on Instagram. Forgive me. All right, so we said a lot. We've been on so far for about close to 40 minutes. Let's go questions now. And then Rose on TikTok said they are overcharging for the grand. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's do Dorian next, because I started reading Rose. And Dolan will pull in everyone else's questions one by one. My fault, Dolan. You know, I got into, you know, I got so excited, I forgot I had my man Dolan ready just to load up everybody's questions. So let's do Dorian, and then we will get to you because he's had people's questions waiting. All right, but we will get to everyone's questions. So we're gonna try out that. So would the tariff affect the American manufacturers that rely on overseas parts to build the vehicles? Great question. Causing the price of US made vehicles to go up as well. That is yes, yes, and yes. If you look on a window sticker, maybe we could actually see it here. So this is an Infiniti, Japanese car, I believe. So it's going to be, so this same $54,000 car is going to be probably $67,000. If my math is a little estimate here, the same exact car. The same exact car. Very important to understand that. Not some different car, not some better car, not some bigger car. Doesn't have money in the trunk. 67,000 from 67,000 from 54,000. And I think I might even be estimating a little low. So we can see here, let's see. Parts. We'll see sometimes the menu for this vehicle, final assembly point, Smyrna, Tennessee. So now that's assembly, that's an assembly point. That's kind of where they're coming to bring it at its last stages if it needs any kind of final things put on. So they'll have a little market locally, but no. A lot of what you'll see sometimes is vehicles American made, and you'll look on here and you'll see parts sourced from Mexico or parts sourced from such and such. All of those parts go up 25% as of right now. If there's a 25% tariff, so if a part was $1,000, the part's $1,250 now. If a part was $5,000, and then if the components of the engine, there's $4,000 worth of components for the engine. Now there's going to be $5,000 worth of components. So absolutely, it's not, and that's a great question, Dorian, because it proves just because you're American made doesn't necessarily mean you're escaping, because I can tell you guys if there's any car that is 100% American made, I mean parts and everything, that would be the only car that would be not going up at all. So great question. That makes you even think about, but parts going up is different than the entire car being tariff coming in. So, if it's a case of which is going to save me more money, comparing 25% tariffs on an entire car to, all right, $10,000 worth of parts on this car are tariffed, which will add $2,500 to the price of the car. I mean, that even makes you think like, oh, even that car goes up by $2,500. It depends on the part. So, yes, great question, Dorian. Let's keep them going. Come on, let's fly with them, Dolan. Let's see how fast we can get through these. I want to, I want to, let's get a diverse set of questions. If you're shopping now, Carl, I see you. All right, Dolan pulling the next one. I'm gonna do okay. Okay, so you pulled in Roses from TikTok. Hey, game changer, my man. Oh, my man Terrence. Been rocking with us since day one. Thank you so much. Good to see you, Terrence. These are people, 2021, pandemic, blood in the streets. Said, you know what? I like this guy, Deshone, sounded like he's teaching something different. Let me rock with him, see what it is. And he's been with us since then. He said, I'm back for my second car I'm about to get. So always a pleasure, brother. Always a pleasure. Hope you and your family are well. All right, Rose, this one's for you. They're overcharging for the Grand Highlander gas model. They refuse to do MSRP. It's frustrating. You're talking to an 80% dealer. And I can tell because you're just talking about one dealer. So what you could do is you could just pick up the phone, call 5, 6, 7 sales managers, ask for the sales manager and just say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Can you, you got to get multiple offers, because you might have just joined the stream, Rose, but here's what you're dealing with. The reason why I spent the first 30 minutes hammering on the 80%, type 80 if y'all were here for that, like, I showed numbers. The reason why we have a process, our new car process and our lease process is called the 25 to 5. The 25 to 5. What does that mean? That means that we are going to connect with 25 dealers online by email. I show you how to do it in my book and in my Shop with Deshone program in 20 minutes. We connect with 25 dealers by on their website, and then we're going to find out who has a car. We tell them what we want, and then I have all the scripts, because what you're going to hear from the 80% is, oh, when can you come in? We need you on the phone. We only do business with people here. Your best deal is here. Hey, I need your address. Hey, we can't give you a quote without a credit. So I have all of these scripts, because all of those are lies. You don't need me to come in. My best deal is not in the dealership. You don't need my address to give me a quote. You don't need my credit to give me a quote. And none of the other people that I'm talking to are saying that. So would you like to still do business? So everything that you're saying in my book or in my Shop with Deshone, this is for people who, you just like Deshone, I don't want to talk. If you want to talk, call sales managers. You like to talk, you're kind of this, let me at them, call a bunch of sales managers and get multiple price quotes. But it's the only way you're going to prove to yourself, Rose, that it's just that one dealer that's the problem. That's an 80% dealer, and they're designed to frustrate you. In fact, what it's designed to do is tire you out. You know how many times I've seen people just want to get it over with, and they just sign the deal? They don't even like the deal. They're just like, yo, you won, man. I'm tired. Not to me. But I've seen it all in the business. I was in the business for 15 years in Mercedes and General Motors. I had my own brokerage for 4 years. You know how many people I've seen just like, yo, all right, look, we've been here 4 hours. All right, listen, just come on. Hey, all right, it's been 2 hours. Just come on. Quicker you do that, the more you pay. At least if you've been there for 4 hours, you're trying to. But I would never be there, because if you're talking to an 80% dealer, Rose, he could take off $5,000, $7,000. You still lost, because their prices are artificial. Shout out to everybody tapping the screen. Every time you hear something you like, just double, triple tap the screen. If you really like it, just give it a 4-banger. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. That was good, Deshone. Boom, 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 boom. Run the likes up. Thank you. Because that brings more people here on TikTok. But that's why this is the oldest industry that continues to keep you guys wanting to shop like it's 2020, like it's 2001. But the minute you step back and you realize, wait, how many Jeep dealers are there? Grand Highlander. So I guess you're talking about, is that a Toyota? Okay. Let me give you another tip. Write this down if you're taking notes. Some of you are taking notes. I know some of you. I know there's just people who are like, wait, there's just no way I'm going to remember all of this. I ain't watching the replay. Very important that you have 2 dates. We call it a no later than date and an as soon as date. Your as soon as date is when you enter the market for offers. You don't enter the market for offers before that. Your as soon as date is, hey, I could accept a deal. It should always be today. Until you can accept a deal today, we don't reach out to dealers. We don't reach out to dealers, because there's no point in activating the market and getting offers, and then you can't take advantage of, oh, I'm waiting for my bonus at work. Oh, I'm waiting for this. And then, oh, all right, I'm not ready. So we need to know those 2 dates. Now, I'm going to tell you what a big problem that we need to get rid of right now. And I'm giving you the tools to help you do it. You got to stop waiting until you need a car to shop for a car. We got to stop waiting until 30 days out. My lease is up. I haven't done anything. What we do 6 months before our lease is up, we do an equity assessment. We get bids, see what our car is worth. See if we can break even or make money selling it. If we can't, we check again at 3 months. Run offers, CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, KBB Instant Cash Offer, Kelly Blue Book Cash Offer, AutoNation Cash Offer. 6 cash offers we get. Every 3 months we're going to do that, starting from the 6-month mark. We do it again 3 months. No equity, we do it again when we pay our last lease payment. We need to make sure, and I told y'all that with these tariffs coming, our values are about to go up. Think about what I just said on this vehicle. $54,000 vehicle is about to be $67,000. Let me just do my math because I feel like that's low. I feel like that's a little low. 54,000 times 25%, 13,000 plus 54. Oh, it's right on, 67. Hey, praise the Lord. When you look at that, 67,000. So now, this one that I have, which is a 2025 when my lease is up in 3 years, it's going to be 3 years pre-owned. Now, all the brand new ones are 67. Mine's is going to be 3 years pre-owned. Normally, it would have been worth probably 30. Not really, probably 26. 27, 28, something like that. 29, depends on the mileage. Let's call it between 20, 29 and 30 on average. But with the new ones being 67 grand, what's mine going to be worth in 3 years? When the brand new ones are 67 grand, what's a pre-owned one worth? 67 grand, maybe 40. My value went up from 30 to 40. Because people are going to be like, yo, I can't afford the 67. I want a new, let me go buy a 3-year-old one. So now we're going to sell these leases and we're going to make 5, 10, 15 grand again. So this is how we got to understand the front end, the 80%, and then the back end and what that looks like down the road for us. That's why all of you who's sitting there and you're like, man, I got a car, I'm going to be replacing it. Hold off. Hold off right now. If you're planning on buying a car and it's not going to be tariffed and you're like, oh, you might want to wait and see that value come up. Now, especially if you're buying an American car. If you're buying a car that's going to be tariffed, then make the move as early as possible because that 25% is coming. But those of you who are in leases right now, or you have cars right now that you're going to be replacing in a year, 2 years, oh, you better not go in thinking you're going to trade those cars. Those dealers are going to sit there and pay you to, they're never going to tell you, your car's worth 10 grand more than it used to be. Ain't telling you that. So, all right, come on. I think we hit it here. Listen, Rose, the point is multiple offers. And you're going to find out. I had somebody call me about a Wagoneer. Not call me. She wrote me about a Wagoneer. She said, Deshone, this is my dream truck. Nobody wanted to give me anything off. And then she said the best deal. She got multiple offers. And then once she started getting multiple offers, she got some off. And one dealer took off a big amount of money. That's just the way it works. The 20% is who your goal is to find. You can't walk into them. You have to find them. And that's what we do. That's what we show you how to do. Okay? And then you'll prove it to yourself and be like, oh, man, it was just that Jeep dealer that was overpriced. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Next one. Of course, Rose. No problem. And I just gave you guys 2 strategies. For those of you who like to talk, pick up the phone, call sales managers. Tell them exactly what you're looking for and get multiple bids. For those of you who don't want to talk, you're just like, Deshone, I don't even want to call a dealership to boom. That's what we do. Everything we do is by email and internet and boom, boom. Pulling off. When tariffs are in place, does it turn into a set? We did that one already. I know you had that loaded. I read that one though. So yeah, I know you had that loaded up. I should have went to you right from the get-go, Dolan. Go ahead. Next one. All right. Veterans, no tax, has no place on lease, correct? if you're the only time I've seen no tax on a lease in my career was with a pastor. They were buying a car under the church, and they came in with their tax exemption. If I wasn't aware, if there's a policy with veterans don't pay tax, I haven't heard of it. All I've heard of is military rebates. So we need to make sure. Oh, I gotta go back to that. I was talking about the as soon as date. I got so much to talk about. No, I don't. I just always let them know. In fact, it's on our template. One of the things on our template, because a lot of you, unfortunately, you don't know. You're not giving the dealers everything they need to even give you an offer. Let me list these things that they need to give you an offer. Okay, this is why we have templates made for you when you get my digital book. And when you enroll with Shop with Deshone, our video checklist and coaching, you have templates you fill out because they need your zip code for the taxes. They need to know what you do for a living to see if you qualify for any rebates based on your profession. They need to know if you're military or not military. They need to know what your affiliations are. Are you a Costco member, AARP? Are you a member of a national board of attorneys? Now there's not all these don't all save you money. It depends on the car. Every single car is different. And so what's the most important thing is to realize that I need to give the dealer everything that any dealer would want to know to see what I qualify for. So again, military or not military, zip code. They need to know the vehicles that are in your household. So when you hear them asking that, it's not always because they're trying to get over on you. It's because I need to know, do you qualify for any conquest rebates where you have a competitor's car, or do you have do you qualify for any loyalty rebates? So these are the things that when I say call around, because some people might say, well, Deshone, if you told Rose to call around, then why don't you just tell everybody to call around? Well, because I really would like Rose not to call around. I would like Rose to use our way, because that's the way that gets everyone from grandmothers to single mothers to soft-spoken men to even the hard-nosed negotiators. That's like, man, Deshone, I negotiated all my life. I could never get a deal like I'm getting with Cars from Home because it's just a bidding system. Like, we could never get these deals. This is literally, these are deals that you're only going to get through bidding. Okay? But I'm going to give you something for the people who are not going to get my stuff. But you need to call around, and when you call around talking to sales managers, they're going to need to know this stuff. So that's why it's not scalable. 1,000 of you couldn't do it at once, because then the sales managers would be like, wait a minute, who's telling them to call us? You know what I'm saying? And then the whole thing is ruined because it's like, wait, why are we getting all these calls all of a sudden? Everybody calling the sales managers asking for quotes. Because there's things they need, and unless you can run off those things, you're not going to just be able to get an offer. They can't give them to you. So that's why I say I would much rather y'all be discreet, email, boom, here's everything you need in 2 emails, dealers, boom, what we got? Do you have something? Do you have an offer? Blah, blah, blah. You have everything you need. And most dealers who deal with us are so surprised because they're like, wow, thank you. It's made my life a lot easier, because they're expecting the average internet shopper, which doesn't know what to give them. Hey, what kind of cars you have in your household? I'm just asking so I can work the quote. Why do you need to know that? Perfectly understandable response from a, unfortunately, uninformed internet shopper. You trying to take advantage of me? Why you need to know what I own? I'm not trading anything in. Well, that's because I need to know if you qualify for any rebates or any incentives. What do you do for a living? Why do you need to know that? Well, I need to see if you qualify for any rebates. Before you know it, you're going nowhere. That's why when you try to shop for online, you're like, wow, it's so hard to shop online, because you don't know what to give dealers. You don't know what they need. And then when they start asking over the top questions like, hey, we need your credit, you don't know that, no, that's really a red flag. You really don't need that. So there are things you need here, and then there's things you don't need that some of you are going to step over the line and try to ask for my credit. Get me on the phone. This is all normal stuff that we respond to. So that's why I would much rather y'all use our system, use the Cars from Home, my digital book. It's 5-star rated. You can Google it. It's normally $97, worth every penny. We've sold tons of them at $97, but sometimes people like, hey, I'd rather get the $24 special. That's our 30-minute offer. It's only one time. So once you pop in, if that timer goes to 0, the book's never $24 again. So I would like you to, it's an ethical bribe. I'll take off the rest because I want you to win. And I want you to have no excuse for why you're not winning with these cars. Not in 2025. Okay, so go grab your books, 30 minutes only. In my TikTok bio, Instagram bio, Facebook comments, or the YouTube comments. And it'll be in your inbox by the time we're done with the stream here. All right, let me get a sip of water, and then we're going to answer this next question. BM Guard Julio, good to see you, bro. Good to see you on Instagram. Oh, and we got to get, you just pulled it from I just was about to say that, Dolan. I need to get my man right here on Instagram with his Suburban. So, okay. All right, first question. First question you need to know. Whenever you are buying a car or considering buying one, first question is what we call the most important question. It's the 8-year rule. It's the 8-year rule. Who's familiar with the 8-year rule? Type 1s in the chat. If you've ever heard of the 8-year rule, type 1s in the chat. We're live on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Type 1s in the chat. Amber Ray, good to see you. Good to see you. Who's familiar with the 8-year rule? This is the first thing. Sunshine, good to see you on YouTube, checking in. This is the first thing that should come to mind. Jen the 5. Okay, thank y'all. Yo, man, I love y'all. I'm telling you. Because if when the transformation happens, I know I got people who are going to go and teach their family and then next thing you know, give it a little time and we can really change this industry. Shout out to the people that's on board with it. Demond Robinson. Okay, so what the 8-year rule says is if you're not buying a car to keep it at least 8 years, at least, then you should be shopping for a below market lease, not a purchase. If you are not keeping your next car at least 8 years, then you should not be purchasing it. You should be shopping for a below market lease. Now, I know that just made people's skin crawl because people have been listening to bad advice for years. Bad advice in rap songs, bad advice from finance people. Dave Ramsey has ruined you guys when it comes to car advice. God bless him when it comes to the stock market and the mutual funds and the getting out of debt. God bless him. But he has ruined millions of people with bad car advice that is not based on numbers. He might have bought 30 cars in his life, and he's like, I buy cars, and I bought 30 of them in my life. You know how many cars I bought? 30, 50. And you think you're an expert. You're not an expert because you bought 50 cars in your life. You're an expert when you have seen thousands of car shopping transactions in the short term and the long term, how the equity goes away, how the value depreciates over time. When those people buy, take out a 6-year loan, come back in 5 years, go to trade that car in. The car's worth almost nothing, and they just paid all of this money. They're never happy with what it's worth, and they're like, all right, wow, I'll just do this again. And sometimes they come here after 2 or 3 years and try to replace the car, and now they have negative equity because they owe more than it's worth, and they've been paying high payments, and they still owe more than it's worth. So they have to trade, literally roll that negative balance from their old car to the brand new car that they're going to get. So they're driving in their brand new car, but they're still paying for the old car that they got out of. Horrible advice. All because people don't lease. People bought into horrible advice, and leases used to be different. You had closed-end leases, open-end leases, balloon payments at the end. Now leasing is pretty straightforward. Pay this, turn the car in 3 years. In fact, now we pay this, and before we turn it in, we check just to see can we sell it and make a little money. It's not always possible. Small percentage of the time we can, but we need to do that before we return a lease. So your first question on this Suburban is, how many years am I keeping this? If the answer is 10, now we go and shop to purchase a Suburban. If it's 9, 8, Deshone, now I'm gonna do at least 8, maybe more then we purchase. Because all that money you're gonna pay to buy the whole car, as Jay-Z said, we don't lease, we buy the whole car, as you should. So you're paying to buy the whole car, and that depreciating asset is going to tank. The value falls like a boulder in water. And then what happens after about 6 or 7 years, it starts to level out for you. The value begins to level out. So it's not losing tons and tons of value anymore. First year, you're losing. First year, how much value do we lose the first year on a car, y'all? Let chat. Y'all let me know. Because some of this, y'all don't even need me to say. Some of this, y'all can complete the sentences. How much value percentage-wise? Throw some percentages out. Richard Anthony said 30%. Depends on the car, he might be right. Go ahead, throw some numbers out. What percentage of our value do we lose first year? First year. Let's go. Come on. I want to hear from Gender 5. I want to hear from BM Gargulio, Katrina Allen, Demond Robinson, Sunshine, Kenneth Anderson, Rose, Stella, 20%. Like that. How much when we buy a car, what's the percentage of value we lose the first year? Yep, 20%. Gender 5 said 25. So we are right in line. All of us are pretty smart adults. Demond Robinson said 20%. And Richard, I'm going to tell you, Richard, you're not wrong. Because there are cars that we've seen. I warned everybody before the election to sell your electric cars. Because I saw that the value of electric cars was about to fall through the ground. And that's what has happened. So whoever bought an electric car for 50 grand, that thing's worth 30. So depending on the car, you can lose 30% of your value the first year or more. This is why buying short term is so risky. This is why the 8-year rule exists, because how can we control if our car is going to lose 20, 30% of value? That means I might lose 60% like the first couple years. Right. So you know how you avoid that? Who knows how you avoid short-term depreciation losses? Long-term ownership. It's that simple. It's that simple. There's no other way. I don't care if I bought a car and it lost 40% of value the first year if I'm keeping it 10 years. I'm keeping it 10 years. No problem. Yeah, the thing is a sled. Yeah, I didn't like that, but I ain't looking at it because it'll be a decade before I even look at getting out of this car. But if you are keeping your car 3, 4, 5 years, 6 years, and you lose that type of money, you're done. You're coming back, and that's why we're never happy with what our cars were. So your first step with any car, guys, is the 8-year rule. Before you think about your trade, before you think about what car you want, before you think about anything, it's 8-year rule. 8-year rule. Just picture me. Soon as your wife or your husband or your child, hey, all right, I think we need to get a car. 8-year rule. If you're gonna commit to following the 8-year rule, type Dave Sarosin checking in. I'm sorry, I just butchered your name. Good to see you. If you're gonna commit to following the 8-year rule, then type the number 8 in the chat. Type the number 8 in the chat. I'll tell you guys a story on another stream. I'm not going to do it today on how I went to break my own rule because I bought a pre-owned car, 3-year-old Infiniti. Me and my wife, you know, it was really me. Because I asked her, I said, you had the same car. Every time we lease a car, you get the same white Infiniti Q50. Why don't we just buy something? Would you just keep a car? She's like, yeah, I'll keep a car. I don't need to switch cars. She get the same white Infiniti. So we bought it. And then as I am seeing some of my students, actually Rosalie. Some of you know Rosalie. Some of you guys, and let me tell you, this is the post that made me almost break my rule. I ended up keeping the 2020 Infiniti truck and leasing the 2025 because it was just cool, and you know, we have two vehicles, and I didn't want to take the L. But I'll go deep on it. But this is what made me get out. This is what made me think about breaking my own rule. This was last year in June. Rosalie got a QX60 2024, and she got it. It was a $59,000 truck, $60,000 truck. Y'all can see at the top, $60,000 truck, the QX60 Infiniti, the 3-row truck, and she got it for $592 a month. $592 a month, sign and drive. She gave him $592. She drove off. So I knew that a $54,000 one would probably get me close to about $540 or less, $520. I knew that once I saw that deal. And I'm looking at what I'm paying for my pre-owned one, and I'm like, man, I could be driving a brand new one. And I know that. I know that every time when you get a great lease deal, y'all, it's the same monthly payment roundabout as a used car. It's the same payment. So I know that a used E-Class is going to be $750 a month, Mercedes, and a brand new good deal on a E-Class is going to be $750 a month. This was back when I worked for Mercedes. I knew these were the numbers. A used one was about 36, a new one was 60, and if you got a good deal, you could get in the 6s, and if you got a good deal on a used one, you could get in the 6s. It just was the same. So when I saw that, I said, I'm sitting here paying for this used truck, and I could be driving a 2024, 2025 for the same money. And coming from someone I've leased 7 cars, I'm just like, oh, the truck's 3 years old. I just put tires and brakes on it. God, I could have been leasing, avoiding all of this stuff. So I'll finish that story another time because when I evaluated it, I would have lost $7,000. I would have lost my down payment that I put, and I would have lost the money I put in the brakes and tires. And I got a great deal on that. Some of y'all was here when I got that truck, and I told y'all about the deal I got on it. $54,000 truck. I got it for 31, 26,000 miles. Doesn't change the fact that the 8-year rule, if you go to break it, you're going to lose money. Even me. No one's exempt. Not even the creator of the rule. All right, so that's your first thing is 8-year rule. And let me know, Pacherato, how many years you keep in the truck? How many years are you going to keep the Infiniti? The Suburban. Because what I'm walking you through, everyone, is all of your process. So although Pacherato asked about the Suburban, that his step 1 is your step 1. So when you open my book, for those of you who are getting my digital book, because you're like, Deshone, it's no way I'm going to remember all of this. I want the whole blueprint. Go grab my digital book, Cars from Home. It's in my TikTok bio, Instagram bio, YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments. It's 75% off, 30 minutes only. And if you missed it, then just get it for the 97. It doesn't matter. You will never look at that book and be like, this wasn't worth $97. I'll swear that to you. I've invented 6 calculators. 5 of them are in that book. Not calculators you can go Google. We have the counter offer calculator for purchases. We got the lease for new purchases. We got the lease counter offer calculator for lease shopping. We got the perfect budget calculator for those of you who are getting loans to give you 6 different goals that are going to be underneath your max budget based on your monthly payment you want to be at, based on your down payment you have or don't have. Like, These are, we have the true value calculator for those of you who are getting used cars. So you can see when you get the new car price and then you put in the used car price, you can see what the true value is. These are things that are specifically in there that we invented. So you won't, but if you get there within 30 minutes, you got it for $24 instead. And for those of you who are like, I keep saying the Shop with Deshone program, that's just a video checklist with coaching. Depends on your learning style. If you're like, Deshone, I want to work with you, be able to get in your Facebook group, instead of reading, I like to go through some, like a video checklist. That's Shop with Deshone. And then we do coaching calls twice a month. And we have a Facebook group. I don't care how you get it. I just want you to get it. But when you open anything we use, it's always 7 steps. And the first step is exactly what we just went over for the last 10, 15 minutes, the 8-year rule. And that's something that now that you understand it, it should just take you 30 seconds for step 1. That's why I'm not inviting you to a college on how to buy cars. I get cars in 60 minutes. Anybody who knows me and my family could attest to the fact that I am not going to spend hours shopping for a car. And my last 7 cars that I got for me, my family members, have been right here from this seat. So we're doing this in 60 minutes. Hour and a half tops it might take y'all once you learn the system. But this ain't an 8-hour, 10-hour thing. I love my time. I got a beautiful family, I enjoy my time. I don't want to spend 10 hours shopping for a car. It don't take that. It doesn't take that. So step 1 is the most important question. Then we move to step 2, which is the equity assessment. This is for those of you who have a car you're going to be replacing. You will move to that step 2. Okay? So Pacioretto said 10 years. And you're getting it for black business. Perfect. That means you purchase. Now, you're not going to decide yet whether you're going pre-owned or new unless you just know you want pre-owned. But that would be your steps of, all right, do I have a vehicle to replace? Let me now, before I even think about what I'm shopping for, let me assess the vehicle I have. I'm giving you your first 2 steps, everyone. 8-year rule, next step, equity assessment. Deshone, we ain't even talk about the car that I want yet, because that's bad advice. Who's heard people tell you, go shop for your car, negotiate your car, and then when you get to the very end, tell them about your trade-in? Who's heard that advice? If you got the emoji, raise hand. If you don't, just type me. Who's heard? I'm talking, this is 2006 Kelly's Blue Book advice that they was giving y'all when I was first working at Pontiac, and I wanted to know, what is the internet teaching the public? Oh, it's teaching them to not tell us about the trade until the very end. Which is why you notice any smart salesman, they're watching the car you pull up in. Because we need to know what's up with that car. And we're not going to ask you like that. Hey, is that the Acura out there? That's yours? See, this is why I'm never going to teach y'all to negotiate, because you can't negotiate with somebody who negotiates 3 times a day. We just know the questions to catch you off guard. You might think, oh, I read the article. The guy on TikTok that, he calls people and he negotiates with these dealers right in front of me. He said, never tell a dealer that I have a trade-in. Okay, so I'm going to remember that. So then that salesman, hey, how you doing, John? So, warms you up a little bit. Hey, you got a little coffee in you, bought you a little stale muffin. So, tell me, John, so we're going to go out, look at the GMC here. Is that the Acura yours? Is that yours? Yeah. My wife drives it. Oh, okay. How's she liking it? Yeah, she likes it. Okay, you guys own that one, or you leasing that one? Oh, no, we leasing that one. And I'm talking about somebody who could think quick on their feet is going to give me those answers, because that's how, if I was following that bad advice, that's what I would be trying to come back with. But somebody who you ain't going to be able to think that quick. You're already nervous because you're in a dealership. Before you know this, we probably going to trade it in. Okay, thanks for letting me know that. And then here's the other bad part. If you wait till the end, Let's just say you're good at just incognito. Salesman never knew you were going to trade your car in. Now you spent 4 hours. You done came and test drove the vehicle. You done went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you're like, all right, boom, he's taking off $7,000. I think I'm good. All right, let me spring my trade in on him now. What happens when now you say, here, if you don't give me 18 for this, no deal. Okay, well, the car's not worth 18, so. Sorry, it didn't work out. Either you're going to accept less than 18 or you're going to acknowledge the fact you wasted your time. Because you're going to walk away and be like, well, listen, I told them about the trade-in. They didn't give me what I wanted for it. You've leveraged against yourself because you spent time. And so as the salesman sees that you spent hours and hours and hours, he knows you don't want to walk away from all of that work you put in. He knows you don't want to walk away from this $7,000 discount he's offering you. So now, all right, let me take a shot. I'll give you 16. Might take a big shot. I'll give you 14. What? No way. I'm looking for 18. Listen, we're at 14. I'll go to work, but I'm going to be honest with you. The car's not worth it. Maybe I'll get you 15, 15.5. Can we do business? What do? This is not the way the dude on TikTok said it was going to go. It's bad advice. That's why we're doing our equity assessment, step 2. So step 2, we're getting offers from CarMax, Carvana, Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, Car Guru's Cash Offer, AutoNation Cash Offer, Driveway, 6 cash offers. So now, when we do business and we're about to close our deal, if the salesperson, we really don't even, we'll give them an opportunity to buy our car, but that's not the way we work. We care about who wins the bid. And there's a person who wins the bid to buy our car, and you, Mr. Salesman, you won the business to sell us a car. And those things are not related. In most cases, those are not going to be related. So this is why listening to bad advice, I empathize with y'all. I understand the bad advice. I've been seeing people give it to you guys for years. I remember what brought me to TikTok was a guy, he had 160,000 followers, older guy. I was still, playing around on Facebook, had like 5,000 followers on Facebook, and that was kind of what I was doing. And somebody said, hey, Deshone, that's a guy on TikTok. He kind of does what you do, like with the education, but you should check him out. And I went and I liked his stuff. I watched like 12 of his videos, and I'm like, this is what we need right here. There's always room for good advice. 60 million cars are sold a year. Like, we need more players in the pot. But when I got to the 13th video, I think, and I'm going to say 13 because 13 was not his lucky number, because I watched the video and somebody asked, could you talk to us about leasing? Can you explain leasing for us? Guy gets on the video, he says, never lease cars. Listen, it's a headache. You're gonna owe money at the end. They're gonna charge you. You can't even drive as what you want to drive. Just buy your cars. I was on TikTok the next day. Dropped 10 videos. 10 videos. Boom, 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 boom. Like that. So this is what you have to realize. If someone's not teaching you to create a bid for yourself in 2025, if they're not teaching you to have multiple people, banks, dealerships, buyers for your old car, bid, it's horrible advice. That has nothing to do with leasing. But that's why this is step 2, okay? We do our equity assessment. We always know who we're going to sell our car to before we start shopping for our new car, okay? So that's your first 2 steps. Whether you're in my book, whether you are in Shop with Deshone, our video checklist, or whether you're doing it on your own and you're like, Deshone, I like those first 2 steps. Those first 2 steps right here, if you just get the 8-year rule and you learn to lease, not buy, guarantee you that's $5-6 grand. As long as you don't go over here and overpay for a lease like most of these people. As long as you don't look at commercials and say, well, they said I could lease for $479 a month for $3 grand down. That ain't the deals. Nobody that I'm showing y'all on these streams are getting commercial lease deals. Now, I showed y'all Rosalie. Rosalie is probably, I got to say, I can't say, I don't have a best student. So let me be clear. There's no best person that's learned from me. But when I say somebody who's gotten results, I know I have two women who have like killed it. Sheree and Rosalie have both gotten 4 cars. Sheree got 2 leases and 2 pre-owned cars. Rosalie has gotten 4 leases in 1 year. And I remember her telling me, I'm showing it on, I wish I could find a way to get you guys on TikTok, but I'm showing it right now on our YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You can see this is Rosalie's deals. After she got that Infinity deal, she told me, she's like, Deshone, I got to get 4 cars in 1 year. And she's like dreading it. And I'm like, Rosalie, one at a time, just one at a time. Trust, she got hers. And then she's like, all right, I got my husband and my 2 sons. So she comes in. I didn't hear from her. She asked a couple questions in the Facebook group. And I said, listen, just trust the process. You did it once. You're just repeating the process over and over again. So she comes a couple weeks later. And she's like, yo, big shout out. I'm going to just read this. Big shout out to Deshone the Auto Advisor for making these incredible deals happen. I never met her. But I love her. You know what I'm saying? She's like, I made the deals happen. Listen, Rosalie did the work. I created the system. She followed it. So 3 new leases for my sons. Oh, all for her sons. 3 sons. With only first month's payment out of pocket. She got a Nissan Rogue, $36,640 MSRP, $399 a month. That's a 1.09% lease. Some of you, you'll hear me talk about the 1% rule on leases. She had a Mazda CX-30 Sport, $28,000 MSRP, $339 a month, 1.2% lease, great value. A Mazda CX-50 Premium Plus, $40,000 MSRP, $420 a month, 1.065% lease. And the cherry on top, I sold 2 leased vehicles, 2021 Elantra to We Buy Any Cars, and walked away with $6,737 in equity. Deshone, I couldn't have done this without you. Your program is a game changer. Anybody who's teaching, just because, can you put 100 people on the line that you've changed their life, that they're transformed and they're as good as you now? Because all of these people, and some of y'all, if y'all on TikTok, see, it's somebody that mentioned me. And I don't really feel, and I didn't even know this guy. But I find out this guy's mentioning me. And I'm like, somebody said, Deshone, I was on somebody's TikTok live and the guy's negotiating and he's mentioning you. So what the heck is he mentioning me for? He said, he was talking like, Deshone is this, and I said, we're different. I don't care because we are different. If I had a chance to, if he was next to me, let's just talk for 20 minutes. You're giving bad advice. I'm going to point out all the fallacies in the bad advice you're giving. And the people will see it. But you got a platform. So, being that you have a platform, let's hold you to results. Hold me to results. If anybody ever said, Deshone, can you show me 100, 200, 300 people that you've helped? No doubt. We've been here for 4 years. How much time? Give me 24 hours. Let me just compile everything and I'll show you 200, 300 people. Emailed me, wrote me in our group. This is what we do. Meanwhile, some of the people that are trying to teach y'all have you no closer to being empowered now than you were 3 years ago when you met them. You are no closer to being able to navigate the car buying process with total confidence than you were 2 years ago when you followed that person. and watched 20 of their videos and said, all right, yo. So all we care about is results, your results. That's it. Okay, so everything you need. And we got a couple more questions because I'm having fun. Have me some more water and I'm having fun. I ain't been live in a minute because we do these streams, and y'all know after a while we're gonna recirculate these streams. That's what we do. But we're gonna eventually plug into some type of table of contents where y'all can see the question and get your questions answered. But the fact is, we only have a couple things. There's only 50, 60 questions that anybody could ask. There's no point in us going live 200 times a year to answer the same 60 questions. We should be putting those into a format where you guys could just go and find them and say, okay, my question's in video 1 at the 4-minute mark. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Got my answer. That's efficiency. But okay, let's go, Dolan. Let me take a sip of water and let's get to some more questions. IMG5, just ask your question. Oh, how much do we charge? We have something for every price point. So just head to the Cars from Home Toolkit. The link is in my bio, or it's in the Facebook comments, the YouTube comments, or the TikTok or Instagram bios. Everything you need is in there. We even have free resources. For those of you who you don't trust me yet, I don't blame you. People talk good on the internet. I don't blame you. Go get my free cheat sheets. Just go get the free cheat sheets. Deshone, I want to test you out, man. You're a good talker, but I know you used to be a car salesman, so you might just be lying to us. Could happen. Start with the free cheat sheets. Once you see how much I'm going to give you for free, then you might say, oh, shoot, if this is what's free, then what do you got in this book? This dude is a dude of substance. So start there. But if you're just like, yo, give me the step-by-step blueprint. That's my digital book, Cars from Home. It's 5-star rated. You can Google it. We're on Goodreads.com. Thank you to everybody who's reviewed the book. That's the old. I got to get a new banner. We're up to a lot more reviews than that now. But thank you to everybody who's reviewed the book, rated us 5 stars. And it's a digital book, so you don't have to wait for it to come in the mail. You don't have to pay for continual upgrades. Every time I update something, I update the file, and you have it. But that's a do-it-yourself blueprint. That is my 7-step system to just boom, 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 boom. You got your below market deal. For those of you who you don't like to read, Deshone, reading is not my thing. That's not the way I learn. You got Shop with Deshone, which is in our bio, TikTok, Instagram bio, YouTube or Facebook comments. Go to carsfromhometoolkit.com, same link, and you can see the Shop with Deshone special where instead of reading, you're going through a video checklist, 3-minute video, 5-minute video. Basically what I would be telling you if we were on the phone. If you called me and said, hey, Deshone, all right, what's my first step? All right, boom, 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 do this, call me back. You go do it. All right, I did that. What's my next step? Boom, 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 do this, call me back. All right, I did it. So those videos are breaking down into, 3, 5, maybe longest is some of the 10-minute videos where boom, 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 I'm just guiding you right to your course. Now we have the Facebook group, which you'll see that's where Rosalie posted at, and that's where these, some of these other things came from. And then we have coaching. Twice a month, we do Zoom calls. And then for those of you who qualify, new cars, leases only, good credit. See, everything we got there is bad credit, new cars, used cars, leases, but we shop for people with our Done For You program if you have good credit, new car, and leases only though. So that's only a select group that's gonna, and you can't have a bunch of negative equity. We could do it like 2,000 negative equity, 3,000, that's it. But we want to get people to their deals fast, and these things take a little time. Bad credit, you gotta be a little. We have a guy in the book, and then Shop with Deshone. There's strategies for bad credit, lenders, and backup plans, option B, option C. But these things are going to, we wouldn't do that and Done For You because it would just slow us down. We want to just boom, boom, get people in and out, get their cars in 30 days, 60 days, while they're sitting at home, And the only reason it'll be 60 days is sometimes y'all got to get, this goes back to what I was saying about your no later than date. Some of you might got 3 months. That's leverage because deals change every month. You know how many people are coming into dealerships and their biggest loss is the fact that they need a car right now or they need a car that weekend versus being able to say, hey, well, I could buy a car today, but I don't need it for 4 months. Now, all of those people that's buying the desperate people, unfortunately, that's buying the inventory there, paying the high prices, you could say, well, the dealer might say, well, we got a car coming, it'll be here in 3 months. We'll give you a better deal on that. Let's do it. We had somebody got a Toyota Highlander, and I'll pull them up next stream. I got a lot more stuff people sent me with the results they got. But when you mentioned Highlander, it made me think of this person who was shopping for a Highlander 2020, brand new one. No one wanted to give any money off. Dealers giving 500 off, 1,000, not even 1,000 off. Some dealers charging premiums. You know, they have little fees on top, little service packages and stuff. So they're not only are they not discounting, they're over. You know, they're still marking up the car. He gets 4,400 off. 20% dealer. Shout out to the 20%. The 20% say, I'm going to earn your business. I don't need to make a ton of money. I am just interested in getting your business and making my customers happy. That's the 20%. That's what we got to find them. We have to reveal them. You can't walk into them. So those are, and again, I don't even know how I got on that, but it made sense. So, all right, let's go. More questions. More questions, Dolan. Keep the questions rolling. Do you have a walking in package where you come to the dealership with? I don't come to dealerships. I don't come to dealerships. And I'm not going to get, I'm going to assume you just jumped on the stream. I'm going to assume you just jumped on the stream. So forgive me because if you had been on this stream for an hour and a half and you were like, hey, everything we do, in fact, it's the name of our company, Cars from Home. It's the name of my book, Cars from Home. It's the name of when you enroll with Shop with Deshone. You see our video checklist platform, Cars from Home University. When you, if you hire us in our team to shop for you, Cars from Home, done for you. It's a mindset and it's a process. It doesn't just describe the mindset we have, it describes the process we use. 99% of what we need to do is from home. In fact, if sometimes the dealer delivers your new car or your lease, and 100% of it is from home. But it wouldn't really be 100 because I recommend everyone test drive. I don't care it's a new car, drive. Listen, I see y'all running the likes up on TikTok. Thank you for double tapping the screen. You don't want to ever assume a car is going to drive good because it's new. Because sometimes, I remember I bought a bed, right? A mattress. And my wife will never let me buy another mattress again. Because we needed a new mattress. So I go into wherever, Sleepy's or something. I don't know where I can. So I lay down on it, and it just felt like, yes. But what I was feeling was, brand new. Mattress was very firm. And now I wanted firm, but I didn't want that firm. But it didn't feel like that when I walked in. It really didn't. It didn't feel like it's like, so the guys get here, right? They set up the mattress. You know, my wife is excited because it was like, new mattress coming in. This is great. They set up the box spring or whatever, you know. Then they put the mattress on it. Soon as I hit it, it was like, oh, that feels different. That doesn't quite feel like what I felt in the store. And it's good. We've had it for like 5 years now, but we've adjusted to it. But everything feels good when it's new, which is why we don't do short test drives. And when you get your car, you might be happy for a week if you didn't test drive it. And next thing you know, you're seeing all the blind spots. Oh, this car has some blind spots I can't see out here. Okay, wow. Okay. No, the seat's not as soft as I like. The steering isn't as firm as I like. Or, oh, the steering's too tight. Oh, I didn't know. Why is the steering so tight? These are all things that I've seen in being in the dealerships that are horrible things, because they end up with people coming back in 3 months, 6 months, a year, trying to get out the car, and they're going to lose how much percentage? We said it earlier, 30%, 20%, depending on how many miles they drove. They're going to lose 20 to 30% of what they paid for that car in the first year. This is why test driving is a non-negotiable for me. With used cars, though, very important. With used cars, we test drive at the end. Very important. Everything we do research-wise is on it. Okay, in my book, we've talked about the 25 to 5 strategy, where we connect with 25 dealers to get 5 offers. That is your goal, at least 5 offers, because one is going to be the best, 80% are going to be overpriced. So you want to now say, all right, 5 offers is my goal. Whether you're calling around to get prices or whether you are using our system and using email to get prices. 5 offers is my goal. That's for new cars and leases. With a pre-owned car, we have a different strategy altogether. It's called the multiple marketplace strategy. This is where we open up all the marketplaces where used cars are. CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, Carfax, Car Gurus, Cars.com, Auto Trader. Opening up all of those. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use a 100-mile radius, and we want to see every single car that fits what we're looking for potentially within 100 miles. We start with 100 miles. We'll go further out. I've had people who lived out of state, and they said, Sean, I had 2 people, funny, that in the last year jumped on our coaching call and said they had to come up to Jersey to get their car. And I thought that was interesting, because neither one of them lived in New Jersey. So there are people who, once we look at that 100-mile radius, we'll open it up to 200 miles or 150 miles, 120 miles, usually 150 miles. There's no 120-mile interval. So, but now what we're doing is I'm looking at everybody who has what I'm looking for. And then I'm narrowing it down. Now, we're narrowing this down, used car wise, based on 3 factors first. The first is title history. A bad title history is like a birth defect. You can't really fix it. It's like, in fact, no, you know what's more like a birth defect? A bad made car. Example, Nissans that are using their traditional transmission, typically your transmission is going to go between 90 and 100,000 miles. If it doesn't, you're very fortunate. But that's built. It's the way the car is made. It's a design flaw. It's a design flaw. So, Deshone, how do we handle that? That's before we even start shopping in our research phase. Every single car you are shopping for today, as soon as we jump off the stream, go right to Google, type in name of the car, and type in reliability. Skim the first page. You don't have to read these articles. What you're skimming is you're looking for anything that stands out. Lower than normal reliability, lower than normal whatever. And so once you scan that, now you move to longevity for those of you who are buying. Because if you typed in a Nissan Altima longevity and you type in the year, 2019, 2021. Sometimes we have a 21 with electrical issues. They fix them, and the 2022 is good. So we type in the year, longevity, and it'll say these vehicles with good maintenance may last 100, 200,000 miles. Some will say 200, 300,000 miles. That's how you look at the data. And then you check initial quality for you who are going to be buying new cars and leasing. You need to check initial quality because that's going to show you what are people saying the first 90 days that the vehicle's on the road. So we're skimming those articles, and this is how we're checking DNA. These are things that you can't, if you avoid them, you're fortunate. So this is what you want to be considering. Typing this stuff in, but going back to used cars, the title history is more, put it like this. If you're buying a salvage title or a rebuilt title or a frame damage title, God forbid, it's like you're buying a foreclosed home. You can win or you can lose big. So I don't teach that. I don't teach people how to buy salvage cars and that, because there may be people out there that teach that, just like there's people who teach how to go get foreclosures. But if you're buying a used car, that's your first line of defense of how you screen it down. Can I see the title? Can I see the history? Can I see the Carfax? Now, I have a secret strategy. I'll give it to you guys. Most of the time, they're going to try to charge you for the Carfax on those websites. We actually bypass that because sometimes you'll see the Carfax there, and sometimes you'll actually see that, oh, I got to pay for the Carfax. But most dealers have a contract with Carfax. So every single one of their vehicles, they can pull a Carfax for. And they usually post it on their website. So we will bypass that. That strategy right there is worth $100 minimum, because you'd have been out here without a Carfax. Some of you would have paid on it. And then sometimes people buy multiple Carfaxes, get packages of three, I think three for $99. We never paid for Carfaxes. So we need to get that Carfax, and then we need to see, and look, there's a saying, until you could give away what you know, you really don't know that much. I could give you guys 2 hours worth of totally priceless strategy and still have 40. We ain't talk about the bank bidding war and getting loans. We didn't talk about the 1.5% rule of 72 and the 10th birthday. We don't want to take a loan past 72 months. Want a car paid off by the 10th birthday because you're going to mitigate risk. We haven't talked about screening down. We're still talking about screening down based on title, service records. Service records is the next line of defense. Once your title has been cleared and you're like, okay, these cars have good titles, we got to move to service records. Because if the car doesn't have good service records, nothing you can do. You pick up a car, used car, it has 50,000 miles on it. If the person skipped 3 oil changes or 2, that could ruin the car. You can have that oil gunking up in the engine. Literally, the engine could go hundreds of thousands of miles sooner because the first owner or the owner before you missed oil change. We will never co-sign or advise buying a pre-owned car without making sure all of the service records are perfect. Then we move to accident records. So that's the initial screen down. I don't even have time to go into the secondary screen down because I do want to try to get to 1 or 2 more questions before we wrap. But the secondary screen down is, now we've done that. Oh, that mean we're ready to buy the car, Deshone? Not yet. That's the initial screen. Remember, we're shopping within 100 miles. You might look and say, wow, there's so many cars. We got to start screening these down. Narrow this down. Yes, we do. Title history, service records, accident history. Now we're going to narrow down, start to get to like our top 3, top 5, top 7. And now what we're doing is we are looking at the original price. We need to get the brand new price of the vehicle. Does Carfax show service records? It does, Jennifer. I see you. Shout out to IMG5 and Gender5 and my man let me see his name, Pacherato on Instagram. Y'all locked in. I appreciate y'all. Uh-oh, let me jump back on. Yes, so Carfax, that's a great question. Carfax is the only history report so far that shows, that I've seen, that shows the service records. AutoCheck doesn't. So that's why I don't deal with AutoCheck until they start showing service records, because we need more than title and accident history. We need more than that. We need to see service records. Okay, but yes, then we need to know the new price of the car. I talked about that a little earlier when I got my pre-owned Infiniti. I knew it was a $54,000 truck they were asking $31,000 for, because that's how we judge our discount. And then we got to verify fake fees. Are there any fake fees, bogus fees that they're going to try to charge when I show up at that dealer? And then the last step for the used car is to go there and drive it and then make the deal. Make the deal. Because every time, if you've done this right, you should never be going to see a used car unless you know for a fact, I am buying this car because it is the best price car in the market. I've verified all fees. I've verified the new price and how much they're charging me, how much discount I'm getting. We call that the true value discount. There's nothing that's going, I don't care. Now, when we get there, we ask them for $1,000 off. We ask them for $1,000 off. If you want to be aggressive, you can go 15. I don't always like to go 15 because it's usually never going to be accepted, but you could ask, because again, we've done the research, which means we already know this is the best price car within 100 miles. Dealerships have a tool, it's called vAuto. They know the car is the best price car too. So it's not just you. When we go there, they know this is the best price car in the market because they've intentionally used this tool vAuto to see what everyone else is pricing their cars at. And they're like, hey, I want to be here. So when we get there, we'll say, hey, listen, after the test drive, hey, you can take off another $1,000. This is the only time we negotiate. And if you notice, we're not negotiating to buy. We're negotiating and we're going to buy whether they say yes or no. But I never like to, everything we do, there's a reason I invented 2 counter offer calculators for leases and new car purchases. You never accept an offer without a counter offer. Because I don't know it's your absolute best offer until you tell me I can't do anymore. Even if I see, wow, this person, just to give you an idea, I'll show you a perfect example of this on how not counter offering, even after you have a slam dunk deal, leaves money on the table. Let's go back to this. Can you put that comment down for me real quick, Dolan? Let's go back to this Genesis deal. Thank you, brother. Let's look at the Genesis of Edmond, who won the bid in this particular case at the bottom. It's a $64,000 car. They bid $873 a month, no money down, sign and drive on this customer's lease. That's a 1.35% lease. Everyone else is charging more, 900, 1,000, like ridiculously higher. They come at $873. Now, many of you would have said, hell, $873, let's go. They're beating everyone's offer. The next best offer is $899, which is a good, that's a 20% dealer too. That's actually the same dealer on a different car, Genesis of Oklahoma City, Edmond. So they're doing a 20% deal, and look at this. The next best offer is $913. So many people would have said, well, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Let's take that deal. No, we countered. We counter all the time. We ended up landing at $840. $840. Already the best. But watch this. If they would have said when we went to counter, and that's an example of what we call a market report spreadsheet for our done for you client. We teach you how to create this. We teach you how to have multiple. This is what we do. But in that case, that's something we present to our done for you client. Look at that. When we made the counter offer of $840, even if they would have said, hey, listen, we appreciate the offer, can't do it, $873 is the best we can do. Would they have been lying? And 873 is the best you're gonna get. They wouldn't have been lying because we can already see. That's the power of having multiple offers. You don't have to wonder if people are lying to you. Now, any of these other dealers that start talking, any of these other dealers start saying stuff like, well, you're not going to get a better deal than that. Yeah, sure. All right. Yep. And we see these. You're going to see those emails as you have dealers that are taking off thousands of dollars. You're going to have all these 80% dealers saying, no way you're getting a better deal than this. Trust me. Yeah, listen. Yeah, you won't find a deal like this. Meanwhile, I got somebody killing all of their deals to the tune of, that's a $10,000, that's almost a $9,000 a month. Because when they presented the first offer, I'm showing it here on the screen, it was $873 a month, and it was with $8,469 off retail price. So for them to get to $840, they had to take off like another $1,000. So we're probably looking at right around $9,500 off a 25 brand new Genesis GB80. When other people are paying list price, getting $2,000 off, $1,000 off, paying $1,000 over because they're buying stuff with fake fees. We get $9,500 off in 30, 45 minutes from home. So, all right, go ahead. Dolan, 1, 2 more, and let's wrap. We've done this, but always overestimate how much you still owe. Happens all the time, sunshine. Happens all the time. All right, can you move from a vehicle that's upside down into a lease? Katrina, that's a great question. Katrina Allen on YouTube. Katrina just asked, can we move from a vehicle that's upside down to a lease? Can y'all continue to, every time you hear something you like, just double tap that screen. And if you really like what you hear, just hit it 4 times. Boom, 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 boom. Anytime you hear, and if you're like, you know what, this stream has been really good, 200 more people should be seeing this. Boom, 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 boom. That's a 4-banger. We call it a 4-banger on TikTok. Runs the lights. Boom, 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 boom. So, great question. That is the move. That's the move. If I could, it's probably out of the 60 million people a year that buy cars, 45 million of them, about 44 million of them are buying used, are buying used cars. 16 million are buying new cars, buying and leasing. They don't show that data, you know, out of the 16 million, how many bought, how many leased. But I'm going to tell you something. The lion's share of people, and I want to say this right, because they don't know about leasing, Katrina, they're going to be upside down by to the tune of a lot of money. $2,000, $3,000 on the low side. If they kept the car a little longer, maybe put down a, down payment, maybe they're $2,000, $3,000 upside down. If they did a sign and drive or put down like $2,000, and then they, and then they took a 6-year loan, and then they come in like 3 years, they're going to be upside down. And depending on how much they overpaid for the car, they could be upside down $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. It's all because they just are determined not to lease, no matter how much financial sense it makes. And I think that's more of a smaller percent. I'm going to say this. Most people don't understand leasing. They haven't been exposed to people who will just break down the cost difference. What a great lease looks like compared to purchasing. They might see people that have bad lease deals and be like, wow, if you're going to, whenever you hear a dealer say that, and again, if you're never going into dealers, then you should never hear this, but you could think about maybe you've heard this in the past. Some dealers will say, well, if this costs about the same amount to buy or lease it, you might as well buy it. That means it's a horrible lease deal, or you're just trying to overcharge. Because some programs have a bad lease deal. It comes from the bank because they think you're suckers. They think we are suckers. So they'll put a bad lease deal on the program, on the vehicle, high interest rate. When you shop around, all of the offers are 1.6, 1.7, 1.9, 2, and you're like, this is, and the dealers will, the dealers that are the lowest will be giving you like $7,000, $8,000 off the car. or more. And you're just like, wow, it's still 1.6, still 1.7. Like, bad lease program. It's the bank. The bank is the one taking a shot. It's not the it's not you in order to lease, you need a bank to support the lease program. That's why leasing is tougher. When you guys see me showing all these lease deals, Rosalie got and all of this, and you see these low payments, these are $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 off the car. If you were purchasing, you'd be like, yo, this is slam dunk. But you could have $7,000 or $8,000, $9,000 off a car, throw it into a bad lease program, the payment's stupid. So if it doesn't have a bad lease program, then you shouldn't be looking at that. And some people will look at commercials and all of this crap. No. If we compare just what a great below market lease looks like, which we've been showing throughout the broadcast, 1%, 1.2%, 1.3, under 1.5, and we compare that to purchasing, it's no comparison. It's not even close. So what my hope is that most people do exactly what you're talking about doing, Katrina, which is transition, realize this is why I'm upside down. I buy my cars, I take out loans. Before I pay them off, I replace the car, and I always have a loan, always have a payment. Every single time I replace the car, I'm upside down. Recipe to get out of that, lease. I'm bringing a lease. I'm a lease person who purchases. That's my problem. Cool. Now I'm going to start leasing, and now I'm going to have a lot more money in my bank. I'm going to have better cars. I'm not going to have to deal with all of this stuff about long-term ownership. The warranty ran out. I got to replace tires, brakes, none of this stuff that people who buy their cars, watch this, don't mind. Who has a car on here that they've kept longer than 8 or 10 years? Just type, let us know how many years you've had it. These are the people who don't mind. We call them keepers. When you buy a car and you're like, hey, some people like, I drive it till the wheels fall off. This is going to be a keeper. I'm either going to be a leaser in this case or a keeper. So who has a car on here that they've had? Look, Andre on YouTube, 11 years. Shout out to you. That's great value. Just like we have great value on leases, that's great value. See, until he tells me how long he's kept his car, I can't determine if it's great value or not. He could tell me, Tricia said, never. Listen, know thyself. Know yourself, and then you move accordingly. So you're operating with someone else's plan. Hallelujah. You're operating with someone else's plan. That's why it's failing you. You're like, yo, how am I overpaying? It seems like I'm paying a lot of money, and then when I go to replace my car, it's upside down, thing breaking down. Is this the only way? No. If you were buying a car to keep it for 9, 10, 11, 12 years, 15 years, whatever breaks, you fix it. Cost $1,500, you fix it. Cost $3,000, you have your local mechanic fix it after 10 years. If the transmission goes out, you might go and get a rebuilt transmission from a salvage yard, have your mechanic put that in there, you drive it another 4 years. This is what keepers do. They don't mind they got the tow truck driver, just in case. I might come out one day, this thing don't start. That's okay. I ain't had a payment on it in 5 years. I done kept this thing 8 years, and I'm gonna keep it another 2-3 years if it lasts. And if I could put $1,500 into it, and that's gonna make it run for another 2 years, no problem. I'm dropping that $1,500 or $2,000 into it, because the cost of replacement always exceeds the cost of maintenance. A person will say, "Wait, if I drop $2,000 in my car with my mechanic, it's gonna drive for 2 more years for me." Fine. If I go buy a new car, I'm gonna drop if I pay even $400 a month, I'm dropping $2,000 in 5 months. In 10 months, I've dropped $4,000. So I'll pay $2,000 one time, no car payment. But if that's not you, then you're paying for below market leases. I'm adding my lease payment into my monthly budget. This is how my transportation is built into my monthly budget. And my transportation involves me moving, smooth, new cars, no warranty all the time, no surprises, Very predictable. I don't need to come out one day and the car don't start and I'm on my way to work or I'm on my way to a client's house. I'm always in a new car and I pay a small amount of money relative to the cost of the car. In my case, $54,000 car, I pay $499 a month. From everybody who look at Ken. Ken got his Nissan Murano. I'm sorry, no, that's Alex. Hey, Alex, my man. I just love to see my people winning. Look, he was able to lease, sold the finance. He sold his finance to Carvana. Carvana bought his car for $14,000. He only owed $3,500. We don't trade in cars. He put almost 10 grand, over 10 grand in his pocket. He got a 2025 Tucson Hybrid Limited. Did the 25. Got responsive from about 8. Ended up getting the best deal from a dealer. $42,000 vehicle, almost 43, $580 a month, 1.36 lease. A $42,000 vehicle would normally be $800 a month. Before his taxes and fees, he's $800 a month for 5 years. Oh, actually, after the taxes and fees, probably close to $900. So between $800 and $900. Let's just call it 8. He's at $580. There's no comparison. A below market lease, he's built it into his life. This is what I pay to drive, to never have to worry about my car. And it's just two sides. One is below market leases, guys. One is over here with long-term ownership. And those of you who are stuck in the middle, get out of the middle. You buy your cars, you don't pay them off, you trade them. You should be over here on the lease side. You buy your cars, and then, you pay them off. As soon as you pay them off, you go replace them. You should be over here on the lease side. You're spending way too much money. Those of you who lease, and then you buy the lease at the end, drive it for another 2, 3, 4 years, then come and trade it in. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be buying your lease. You should be shopping for another lease, not buying the one you had. Because all you do when you buy your lease is you buy a used car. That's it. It's no different. So you buy a used car. You went from leasing new cars to I'm going to buy a used car, except it's just your car. So that's the middle that we got to get stuck out of. We're going to lease or we're going to buy and keep 8 to 10 years. Don't make me rename it the 8 to 10 year rule. So this was good. Everything we talked about, everything you need, help, free resources in the Cars from Home Toolkit. For those of you who are like, Deshone, I need the whole blueprint. We've been on here for 2 hours and we still got plenty of stuff we can talk about. Lumber, good to see you. Hosea, lack nothing. Thanks, bro, for everything and be blessed. Thank you. Hosea 46. God bless. Appreciate it. I'm gonna look that up. For those of you who are like, you know what? If this guy could talk about this for 2 hours, imagine what I'm gonna get into step by step. And mind you, I don't do this car buying Bible. You will never see me. I'm not training car salesmen. If I was training car salesmen, then I would write the car buying Bible. Because the car salesman should know about every single thing, every way you can get a car. They should be able to talk to you about leasing versus buying. They should be able to talk to you about, finance bidding. They should be able to talk to you about all of this stuff that they don't know how to. I'm not interested in teaching y'all how to be me as far as know everything I know about car buying. All I want you to be able to do is get below market deals in 60 to 90 minutes. New cars, used cars. Now, we don't rush the shopping process. I want to be clear on that. The shopping process is different than the buying process. We didn't even have a chance to talk about that. So much, Dolan. We'd probably come back to Thursday, I think, because you can't mix the two. Shopping, remember this, y'all, is deciding what you want. When you are shopping for a car, you are deciding what you want. That's your research phase. You don't want to rush this. You're out test driving. If you're shopping for a new car or a lease, you should be out test driving, looking at cars. Never talking numbers in a dealership. Get the car, get up out of there. In fact, I have a way I teach you to set up test drives. But the biggest thing is to look on the road, watch videos. That might take you 2 months to just decide, what do I want? Come up with a couple vehicles. Once you decide what you want, I'm going to teach you how to get it in 60 to 90 minutes. That's the whole thing. So you can get it in my digital book. It's called Cars from Home. It's 75% off, 30 minutes only. In my TikTok bio, Instagram bio, it's our welcome offer. So that's our welcome offer to you. YouTube comments or the Facebook comments. Grab your copy. It's a digital book, so it'll be in your inbox 3 minutes. And then you'll have the whole blueprint for below market leases, purchases, new cars, used cars. Because as these tariffs come, car sales, the 80% are going to turn up on you. The 80% are going to be saying stuff to you to make you believe that what they're saying is true because they need you to pay the price they're gonna try to sell it to you for. But at the end of the day, we want to focus on bidding. If we can purchase a non-tariff car, that's the goal. But we did discuss, we had a great question, because even non-tariff cars that are made in the US, if they have imported parts, those parts are going to have tariffs. So even cars that are made in the US, we're going to see those prices go up a bit. But the key is, we don't know who's going to start lying. There are 80% already lying. We just don't know when we're going to encounter those. Are they going to say, hey, well, I had to give you that price, you know, the tariffs? Are they going, whatever. So that's why we've stressed on this stream that you cannot walk into dealers and buy cars in 2025. You're going to be home. You're going to get multiple offers. You're going to have people bid. You're going to use the internet and look far and wide. And you're going to do your research from home. So by the time you make your deal, you've seen the market. Because it's that one dealer that might be 60 minutes away from you. That's the 20% dealer. Meanwhile, everybody around you, you're in the middle of a sea full of sharks. Every Nissan dealer within 60 minutes of you is an 80% dealer. But that one over there, that's the 20%. You can't walk into these dealers. You got to find that one. And the only way you're going to find that one is on the internet. Okay, changing my thinking for shopping used cars to leasing. Thanks. It's a smart move, Andre. It's not even a question, bro. I swear we'll talk about it on another stream on the numbers on that Infinity. When I got a great deal on a used car. You can get a great deal on a used car. If you're not keeping it 8 years, you're losing money. You'll lose a couple. Not only will you lose, you drive a worse car. Because you could have been driving brand new cars for the same price, except you chose to buy a used car. Keep it 7 years or keep it 6 years and then go to replace it. You could have leased a car below market lease and then did that twice. And you would have said that same money came out of my pocket or less. And I drove 2 brand new cars versus 1 used car that by the time I got out of it and after 6 years, it was already 10 years old. So you're driving a 9 or 10-year-old car versus 2 brand new cars back to back for the same money or less. It's not even a question. So the only time it makes sense, again, because sometimes leasing sounds so good, it's like, when does it make sense to buy? Long-term ownership. 8, 10, 12, 15 years, that's your buying. It's not even nothing to talk about. We're not going to even discuss leasing. If that's not you, you don't break the 8-year rule, you're going to keep losing. All right. So everything you need is in the Cars from Home toolkit. My digital book, 75% off 30 minutes. We got a special offer for those of you who want to join Shop with Deshone, Cars from Home Shop with Deshone. That's our video checklist where you have coaching calls with me twice a month for 6 months. And you get access to our Facebook group where you can join the 1,600 people, ask your questions there, make sure you have your support. For those of you who qualify for Done For You, that's in the Cars from Home toolkit. New cars, leases only, good credit. Got to be in the good credit category. For those of you who don't qualify for that, no problem. We'll teach you to fish. I never wanted to fish for people, but there's just people out there who just want us to fish for them. So we had to, we created something to fish for some people. But for 3 years, all we've been doing is teaching people to fish. It's not difficult. Okay, you can do this. Okay, you can do this. This is your family's money. Once you learn this, I want you to be like Rosalie. Like Rosalie is the perfect example of no one for the rest of her life can ever, she's going to get these below market deals like I'll get. Might be, depending on the day, she might have a better deal than me. We're going to do the same thing. So it's the same process. So we're not going to have to, you know. But this is just, these are the deals I get. These are the deals you will get. These are the deals that, you know, everyone that of us gets. Look, Marie bought her $13,000 off MSRP. Bought her GLC coupe. Anybody have this vehicle? Anybody got 2025 GLC coupe fully loaded? Did we get 13,000 off MSRP? Probably not. So everything you need is in the Cars from Home toolkit. Time sensitive, special offers. I reward people for taking action. Why do I do special offers? Why do I do 300 off here? Why do I do 200 off here? Why do I do 75% off the book? It's for the people, because it's a limited time. It's for the people who will take action, because your deadline's approaching. And the longer you wait to take action, the closer you are to, look, this is when you need a car. This is where you are today. This is where you are today. Tomorrow, the next day. You get what I'm saying? Every day you don't have strategy, you're closer to, dang, I only got a month now. Before I had 3 months. Now I only got 2 weeks. So we can help you in 3, 4, 5 days, but you need to be able to take action. And that's why we reward people who take action. So I will see y'all. I can't wait to come back. I will go longer, but I'm going to let my man Dolan get some rest. And I'm going to get some rest because, but we'll have a lot to talk about. I got a lot of new content coming. There's so many new videos that I have to make. We're about to move into content season. So thank you to everybody who's followed. You know, we've had a content library of about 120 videos that we have continually put out because they're evergreen. People continually get value from them, share them, continue to watch them. But we're about to, like, 2025, all new content. We've used that library for probably 2 years. It's very effective. Car business doesn't change, so it's timeless. But as far as strategies and messages, as far as messages, there's a lot of new stuff that is coming. So thank you to y'all for checking in, and I will see y'all on the next stream. All right, thank you. God bless.